And he's really bringing charges before the people of Israel. He says, Hear, O heavens, give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken it. I've nourished and brought up children, but they've rebelled against me. So we see, number one, that Israel's rebelling, and he's calling in heaven and earth to bear witness against the rebellion of the people of Israel. He uses all kinds of terms to talk about what they've done, and we'll just breeze right through. Verse 3 says, The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doesn't know. My people don't consider. He says, Sinful nation, laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They've forsaken the Lord, they provoked the Holy One of Israel, just going through. Look at the extent of their sin and of their corruption and their rebellion in verse 5. For verse 6. He says, From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there's no soundness in it, with wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They've not been closed up, neither bound up, neither treated with ointment. So Israel is sick. And Israel isn't doing anything. It says you're not even treating it with oil. You're not even putting bandages and medicine on your wounds. You're just ignoring what's going on. So you're rebellious, and you're also resisting the correction of the Lord. And it's amazing that you don't even see the extent of your wounds, the extent of your brokenness. Your country's desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it. Your presence, it's desolate, is overthrown by strangers. In verse 8, And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers. I don't know how your version phrases it. An interesting phrase. A lodge in a garden of cucumbers. What that means is your defenses, you don't have walls for defenses. You don't have giant brick walls. The only thing defending you is a patch of cucumbers. Now, I don't think anybody ever really felt safe, in the middle of the crossfire and holding up a cucumber. Not really going to do much to stop a bullet or a sword, right? And that's what God's saying. Not only are you sick, not only are you rebelling, you're covered from the head of from the top of your head to the sole of your foot, and your wounds are open wounds. Not only are you sick, completely sick, and you're not even looking for healing, you've got no defenses to the further destruction that's coming. Now, I remember growing up, a number of times being called to the principal's office, and on that walk, I'd walk really slow, and I'd think, what am I being called for this time? And I would begin to plan my defenses and sort of, mom or dad, how am I going to defend my actions or excuse myself, or what lie could I invent to sort of get away with what I did? And then you show up. I remember one time in particular, I showed up to the principal's office, and I had prepared my defense, and I got there and I sat down, and they brought a completely different charge that totally took me off guard. And boy, did I get in trouble. That was one of my suspensions in high school. And that's, I think, a little bit what's going on here, because what are we thinking Israel has done? Is it idolatry? Is it witchcraft? Is it some sort of evil? I mean, because in verse 10 it says, Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom, give ear to the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. Good night. Whoa, this is bad stuff that's going on. What is it? Verse 11 tells us exactly what it is. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, said the Lord? I'm full of burnt offerings, of rams, and of the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. And when you come to appear before me, who required this of your hand to tread my courts? So what is the accusation being leveled here? God is calling to witness in verse 2, heaven and earth in this courtroom, and the accusation being leveled against Israel is that they are sacrificing the fat of bullocks and rams, and he says, who's required this of your hands? Now I'm thinking in my head, I don't know about you, in response to that rhetorical question sort of bouncing around in my head is, you did? Right? Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers is full of requirements for sacrifices and holy days. And Jesus, Isaiah goes through and he says, I don't want your feast and your holy days and your incense. I'm not even listening. What's the problem? And I think the problem is that they're doing all of the right things, but their motivation is so far from the Lord. So it's sort of like that husband who shows up every day for 30 years and puts the paycheck in and works 40 hours a week and brings home the paycheck to make sure there's food on the table and says, the wife's, just kind of, that's what he does. And he gets home and he sits on the couch and watches TV and goes back to work and does all those things. And he's doing it and working hard and providing. And what more do you want, honey? He says to his wife, what more do you want, honey? And she says, I want your heart. Right? So if I were to show up at my house when I get home from Paraguay to Paraguay on Wednesday with some flowers, and I say, here, honey, I brought you some flowers. Why did you bring me flowers, Brian? Well, because Pastor Tim suggested that I do that, and he's going to ask me if I did. So if I don't bring you flowers, then Pastor Tim's going to yell at me. So here's the flowers. What do you think is going to happen with those flowers? As beautiful as they can be, I'm going to get a mouthful of flowers, right? But if I were to say, even if Pastor Tim was the one who suggested, if I were to say, honey, you know what? I missed you so much, and I was away so long, and my heart ached from being away from you. You are my world, and I am never going away for 6 weeks again because that was the worst. And you are the light of my life, and I just do all those. Where do you think those flowers are going to wind up? I bet you they wind up in a vase, and then she'll dry those flowers and hang them up and keep them because that's going to mean something. Why? Because my wife is just as concerned about what I do as why I do it. Right? And God is too. Look at with me, and then we'll just finish with this verse here. Learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. So at the end of all of these accusations against Israel, what we're looking at, what we're seeing is that they were people who did all the right things, but their heart wasn't in the right place. And what I'm not saying is that if you take care of the widow and the orphan, then you're all set with God, because that's what you're doing. But that you're missing the point if we're thinking of it that way. But what we are seeing here is God is sort of saying, that's sort of the thermometer of your spiritual temperature. If you're concerned with what's going on outside of these four walls, then that's an indicator that there's health. It doesn't mean that there's necessarily health, but it's a good indicator that you're on the right path. Because even if you look at James 1:27, James 1:27 is not a command to care for the widow and the orphan. James 1:27 is our thermometer. Because if your heart is close to the heart of our Father, we'll be concerned for the needs of those around us. So let me challenge you this evening, that this work that we do, foster care and caring for widows and family preservation, sounds like a lot of what you're interested in here in your community. Let me tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be without a mess. It's not going to be something where people just show up and everything turns out great. There's going to be phone calls at midnight. There's going to be broken things in church facilities. But there's going to be beauty. There's going to be hearts that will be reached, because it's not so much. I just remember this one story of the school nurse when I just saw her. She's in her mid-80s. But when I was in elementary school, I remember my school nurse, and the one memory I have of that school nurse was orange juice. Every time I think of Mrs. Moore, I think of orange juice. Because I don't know if it was 1 or 2 times that I went to the nurse's office. She bought me orange juice. And that was something that Mom and Dad couldn't afford when I was a little boy. We didn't have extra money for those things. But Mrs. Moore gave me orange juice. And that left a taste in my mouth. Not of orange juice, but of love and compassion. And I don't remember all the other million things that Mrs. Moore surely did for me. To love not only on me and on my brother and on my parents who were struggling in their marriage at that time. And her and her husband loved and discipled my family, my parents. But it left a taste that when I think now of Mrs. Moore, I think of orange juice and I think of love. And wouldn't it be neat if in our community in Paraguay and in your community here in Massachusetts, that when people think of this church, they think, tastes like love. Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much that you sent Jesus to love us, that you've given us an identity in your family, and that though we were lost and we were broken, and we are broken, we're all so broken, that you are so good and so patient and so kind, that you use us, you use your people to bring glory to your name and point others to Jesus. That we don't have all the answers, but we know the one who does. So Lord, I pray your hand would be upon this church in this season of work and labor and toil, that you would show yourself faithful and you would bring much fruit. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to share a little bit about what you're doing in Paraguay. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. And God, I pray that you would bless and continue to use us so that lots of boys and girls can know Jesus. And lots of families will have the opportunity to be the hands and feet of our Savior. In Christ's name.